Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf has warned Washington against overstepping the recent memorandum of understanding, declaring Tehran's control over the Strait of Hormuz non-negotiable. In an interview Tuesday, Ghalibaf said Iran had finalized legal and service arrangements with Oman to secure the strait, set to be implemented within 30 days. He accused U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio of rallying Gulf states against Iran and undermining Lebanon's independence, calling negotiations with America a form of combat with an oath-breaking enemy. The remarks follow Rubio's visit to Bahrain, where U.S. and Gulf leaders discussed regional security and safe passage through the strait. Iran and the U.S. signed the memorandum on June 17, launching talks in Switzerland aimed at a final agreement. Preparations are underway in Tehran for the funeral of Iran's late Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Footage from Tasmin news agency showed trucks and cranes outside Tehran's Grand Mosque where part of the procession will take place. A large platform has been set up for Khamenei's body to lie in state. Deputy Interior Minister Ali Akbar Pujamshidian said ceremonies will be held across several cities in Iran and Iraq before burial at the Imam Reza Shrine in Mashhad on July 8. Khamenei was killed in the initial strikes by Israel and the United States that began the Iran war. His son Mujtaba has been named successor. The funeral comes as Washington and Tehran pursue a memorandum of understanding, giving both sides 60 days to reach a final deal. Russia has announced plans for a new humanitarian response center under the Collective Security Treaty Organization to assist disaster-stricken countries. Emergency Situations Minister Alexander Kurenkov reviewed the project Tuesday at the CSTO Coordination Council meeting in St. Petersburg, saying the center will be located closer to seismic risk zones in Central Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Southeast Asia. He stressed the goal is rapid assistance to worst-case scenarios, such as the destruction seen in Venezuela, Turkey, and Syria. Belarusian Minister Vadim Sinyavsky highlighted the importance of sharing practical experience among member states, urging closer cooperation so rescuers can respond instinctively across borders. The meeting brought together representatives from Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and the CSTO Secretariat, concluding with a signing ceremony for the Council's minutes. Cuba's Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez announced on Tuesday that Havana has asked the United Nations General Assembly to hold a special session on the U.S. embargo. Scheduled for July 7 under item 38 of the agenda, the session will give Cuba a platform to denounce what it calls escalating U.S. aggression, including threats of direct military action. Rodriguez accused Washington of imposing collective punishment through an energy siege, worsening the island's economic crisis. He noted that the embargo amounts to genocide and a systematic violation of human rights, while also accusing the U.S. mission of trying to block debate through pressure and threats. Since 1992, the General Assembly has repeatedly backed resolutions calling for an end to the embargo, but the votes are non-binding and Washington has kept sanctions in place. United Nations member states voiced strong support Tuesday for the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees, warning its humanitarian work faces a severe funding shortfall. General Assembly President Annalena Baerbock said UNRWA received $829 million in 2025, just 27% of its $3.3 billion requirement, urging governments and donors to urgently increase contributions. She stressed that without UNRWA's schools, healthcare, and sanitation, peace prospects would be harder, if not possible. EU envoy Stavros Lambrinidis condemned Israel's demolition of UNRWA's East Jerusalem headquarters, calling it a violation. Saudi Arabia's delegate warned the agency faces a systematic political assassination campaign, while Palestine's Riyad Mansour thanked states for pledges of solidarity. Israel accuses UNRWA of links to Hamas, claims the agency denies, noting less than 1% of staff breached neutrality rules. Anti-migrant protests swept through South Africa's East Cape Tuesday, forcing foreign-owned businesses to close and local employees to leave. Footage from King Williamstown showed demonstrators marching with national flags and chanting slogans before confronting shop owners. Organizers insisted they would not harm anyone but demanded all foreign-run shops shut down. Protesters even called on police to enforce closures. South African tenants renting space in affected shops said they were caught in the middle, warning the strike worsens unemployment and threatens livelihoods. Several African governments have prepared contingency plans to repatriate citizens amid fears of further unrest. President Ramaphosa condemns the intimidation, urging crime be tackled through law enforcement, while the United Nations voiced concern over rising violence against migrants. As the Democratic Republic of Congo marks 66 years of independence Tuesday, the country's top Catholic bishop, Fridolin Ambongo, declared the nation had collectively failed to live up to the promise of freedom. Leading a Thanksgiving Mass in Kinshasa, Ambongo warned the DRC was in peril, citing more than 160 armed groups, severe shortages of food, water and electricity, and the country's 17th Ebola outbreak. He also criticized proposals to amend the constitution, questioning whether a third presidential term would address the suffering of the Congolese people. Parliament has approved a bill that could pave the way for a referendum on a new constitution. Opposition parties and the Catholic Church accused President Felix Tshisekedi of seeking to reset term limits, potentially allowing him to run again in 2028. Severe flooding hit Ghana's capital Accra on Monday after hours of heavy rain, leaving residents wading through submerged streets and struggling to save belongings from homes and shops. People were seen moving through waist-deep water, clearing flooded rooms, and carrying goods through inundated neighborhoods. Shopkeepers reported heavy damage to appliances and stock. Locals blamed blocked drains and poor infrastructure, urging government action rather than temporary relief. The Ghana Meteorological Agency has warned of more rains across coastal areas, heightening flood risks. Earlier this month, officials had already cautioned that Accra faced a heightened danger in June. The disaster has reignited public anger over the city's drainage problems, with residents demanding lasting solutions to prevent future tragedies. Tragedy struck Lahore Tuesday when the roof of a tuition center collapsed in the Kana area, killing 14 children and injuring several others. Footage showed ambulances and police at the site as distraught relatives wept near the victims. Witnesses said neighbors rushed in to rescue children trapped under the rubble before emergency responders arrived. Police reported construction was underway on the upper floor while classes were being held below. 2 people, including the building owner, have been arrested pending investigation. President Asif Ali Zardari expressed deep sorrow, offering condolences and calling for stronger safety regulations. Building collapses are common in Pakistan, where weak enforcement of codes and substandard materials often lead to deadly disasters. A 21-year-old man has been rescued alive in Venezuela's La Guera state after spending 5 days trapped under rubble from the June 24 earthquakes. Aaron Levy Cantilo Vargas was pulled from the collapsed OPP-25 building in Tana Guarena during a joint operation by rescuers from El Salvador, Mexico, and Venezuela. Footage showed teams working tirelessly before reaching him, with a Salvadoran doctor providing fluids during the effort. From hospital care, Vargas thanked President Nayib Bukele for ensuring he received the best treatment and praised the rescuers who saved his life. He said he was the only survivor from that building. According to officials, the death toll from the quakes as of Monday had risen to 1,719, with 5,000 injured and more than 15,000 affected nationwide.